How's it going, guys? In this video, we're going to be looking at the Kevin Shattenkirk trade by doing a trade simulation in NHL 17. As you guys can see, I'm already on the franchise mode menu with the St. Louis Blues. I have the trade difficulty set to hard to make it the most realistic possible. Quickly going to show you guys that now. Reason I'm doing this video, I think Kevin Shattenkirk was #1 on TSN's trade bait board, so obviously the biggest name to go at the deadline. Will probably end up being the biggest name to go at the deadline unless one of Duchesne or Landeskog gets traded. Even then, I think Shattenkirk's probably a bigger name than Landeskog, but Duchesne might have him beat. So we're going to take a look here and see what would happen in NHL 17 from both the St. Louis perspective as well as the Washington perspective. Honestly, though, I expected St. Louis to get a lot more for him, seeing as he's just one of the better offensive defensemen in the game. Also, I did not expect him to go to Washington. Really surprised they made that trade. I was thinking it was going to be either like New York Rangers, maybe even Toronto, but Washington wasn't even on my mind. As you can see, though, his trade value is insane. Tied with Pietrangelo, just below Tarasenko. Like, his trade value in this game is so much. I have a feeling that Washington's going to say thank you. We're so glad you're giving us like this amazing offer. Whereas the other way around, St. Louis is going to tell Washington to like hit the road and you need to add a lot more. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. So St. Louis is trading Shattenkirk and Copley, and they're retaining 39% of Shattenkirk's salary in order to make the trade go through, as Washington's really tight with the cap. And that's why when I see the trade, I thought for sure Washington was sending back like a real roster player to make the cap work, but apparently not. Just a couple of younger players and picks. So the two players, actually the one's not that young. You have Sanford, who's honestly pretty good, 21 years old, 75 overall, medium top 9 in this game. And then you also have, where is he? Not a lot of value. Brad Malone, 27, 79. Just kind of like there for this roster spot, I'm assuming. And then the two big things, obviously, the first round pick in 2017, as well as a second in 2019. The conditions on the second in 2019 are ridiculous. I'm not even going to get into them. They're just crazy. So there's the trade, guys. Also, I figured I should show you Shattenkirk's stats here. We already know, very, very good offensive defenseman, 27 years old, 90 overall, elite potential. And then this Copley guy is actually not terrible, 24 years old, 72 overall, AHL starter potential, probably a decent AHL goalie, or at least will turn out to be. So the value is definitely on St. Louis's side. I wouldn't say it's double, but it's close to double. I have a feeling Washington will accept this. We have to call up Edmondson, so Washington does accept this deal. So I expected that to happen. Let's now try this from Washington's perspective. I have a feeling it's not going to go through. Alright, guys, so I'm not going to try to trade from Washington's perspective. As you can see here, they don't want anything returning them. Sanford, Malone, the first or the second. Also, another thing I noticed, Washington's considered a champion, so getting Shattenkirk is just going to make them that much better. And St. Louis is still considered a contender, so that's why I think trading Shattenkirk for them is a pretty big deal. One of their best players, but obviously everyone knew he wasn't going to resign there, so I'd rather get something for him than nothing, even though, like I said, I don't think Sanford, Malone, a first and a second, is quite good enough. So we'll see what St. Louis says. I'm 99% sure they'll say no to this. Trade rejected. So I'm kind of interested what it would take. When I first seen the trade happen, I really thought Washington was maybe trading Burakovsky or even Verana. A lot of people said the trade was like Burakovsky, Alzner, and a first, and I believed it, honestly. I thought Burakovsky was too much to give up, but I definitely believed it. Verana here and Burakovsky has the same value. Burakovsky, though, 2184. Verana's 2078. I think Burakovsky is the better player, probably, even though they have the same value. You also have Valley there, who's 21 years old, 79 overall, medium top 4D, but St. Louis has pretty good defense. They only want Burakovsky level 3, but let's see here. If we add Verana to this deal, is that enough to make it go through? And they still say no. That's crazy. Since adding Verana alone didn't work, I decided to replace Malone with Orlov. Good, solid, young defenseman, 25 years old, 83 overall, medium top 4D, plus he, like Shattenkirk, has 1 year remaining on his deal, so Washington might not end up re-signing him, honestly, even though he's an RFA. I don't know if they'll have the cap in real life. St. Louis, though, might have it with this Shattenkirk trade. So we'll see what happens. Orlov's actually one player they want, opposed to everyone else in this deal. The value's actually on our side now. Here we go. Trade rejected still. Actually, with Orlov, we can probably not retain salary on Shattenkirk, or we can retain less at least. So we'll retain 22% opposed to 39%. And still rejected. Alright, guys, so this is the final trade offer I'm going to try making St. Louis. We still have Sanford, the first in 2017, and the second in 2019 as part of the deal. I replaced Verana with Burakovsky as he's better, like I was saying, and St. Louis actually wants him as well. I still have Orlov part of the deal. Good young defenseman, they want him, and his salary makes it so that Shattenkirk doesn't have to retain any, so that's probably a big plus on their side. Value's pretty equal. I think we do have the edge, though. A couple players, of course, they want in Burakovsky and Orlov. We'll see what they say. Trade rejected still. Yeah, so it looks like Washington definitely got a very good deal here, as I would not be willing to give up any more as the Washington GM. Actually, guys, I'm going to try one more trade here, trying to get Shattenkirk. Replace Sanford with Alzner, who actually has a lot of trade value, 20 years old, 87 overall. Obviously, he's on a pending deal like Shattenkirk, but a lot of people thought he had to be part of the trade for salary cap reasons, and as you can see there, he does have a good amount of value. Also, I removed the goalie from St. Louis' side just to make the value a little lower, not having to retain any salary. We'll see what they say. I feel like this should go through. The value looks to be almost double now on Washington's side. They're giving up a lot there. Alzner, Orlov, Burakovsky at first and a second. Here we go. Trade rejected still. So yeah, that's crazy how good of a deal Washington got. Even if Shattenkirk's just a rental, I feel like they definitely won that trade hands down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. Probably the only trade sim I'll do, unless of course Colorado makes a blockbuster trade through Shane Landeskog, then I'll have to do a video on that. I will though make a video on the Detroit trade deadline once it's all said and done. I'm really hoping they trade Vanek and Green. I'd really like to get this rebuild started. Marchenko getting claimed off waivers, honestly, I see as a plus. He wasn't getting used in the NHL, cleared about $1.5 million in cap space. I really like the Yurko trade for a 3rd round pick. Now I'm hoping they just sell more and we can get this rebuild started right. But you never know with Holland. We might just end up staying pat, which would really suck. So anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Goodbye.